Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay. Hey, good morning, all. We'll wait for 2-3 more minutes and then we will start. Hey, hi everyone. Let us start the session. I will start the session by introducing myself. This is Sasmita. I'll be the course instructor. I am currently working as a senior data scientist in one of the leading US-based manufacturing company. Prior to this, I was working with other investment banks like Goldman Sachs and service-based companies, TCS and all, as a data scientist and big data engineer. I completed my master's, my MTech in computer science. My major was machine learning and Apache Spark. Um, yeah, so this is my education and my professional experience. Coming to my training experience, I am into this for last 4 years. I'm since 2016. So almost like more than 25 plus batches I have trained. So that is my background. Coming to the course content and everything, we'll discuss that. But let us first discuss what all are the things that we are going to discuss today. I'll give you a brief, and then the session. So we'll divide the session like this. First, we will be understanding about your objective, right? And then I'll give you introduction to the course, and then we will discuss about who can take this course and where you can find yourself, right after taking this course, where you can find yourself. And then we will be discussing about the course content, and then I will be answering all your doubts, right? So first thing, like your objective, I want to understand your objective. So everyone enroll for this advanced analytics demo shop workshop. So mostly your objective should be obviously to understand and to learn advanced analytics. So if you ask me, let me quickly summarize. If you want to know more detail, you can go through some of my old YouTube links where I have explained in detail what is artificial intelligence and everything. But as we are starting, I'll be giving a brief about the course first, like then you can decide where this course actually fits, right? So AI, artificial intelligence, is a very, very famous keyword. Everywhere you can heard about it. When you wake up in the morning, you say good morning to your Google Home, Alexa. That is one application. You open your, you unlock your mobile phone with your face, right? Face ID unlock. So that is face detection. This is application of computer vision. Again, deep learning. When you go to, like, when you open your browser, the first thing that you see is nothing but a search engine. So that itself is application. So anytime you open Google, you will find, I mean, any Google Chrome or any browser, you when you open, what do you find? Search engine. That is application of AI. So if I tell about the different types of applications, it will, like, the entire class will be finished, right? So many applications, every sector. So first of all, if you become AI engineer, you are not limited to one particular domain or one particular company or one particular sector. So people ask me, can you give me like as a data scientist or as a AI engineer in the sense, first of all, you need to understand what is this AI term mean, right? The AI, artificial intelligence, I want to hear from you. I will definitely answer, but I want to understand what you know, right? So anybody wants to explain, like, what is artificial intelligence? Any Google search you have done? Anybody? What do you think? What is AI? Any answers? Whatever is coming to your mind, you can speak, no worries. You join this course so that you can understand all of this terminology. So I will explain in detail, but first I want to hear from you. No idea about AI, nothing, no, nothing you know about it. Any application also you can give as an example, so which you are using. Okay, so no answers. Anybody, like, you never heard this term AI, artificial intelligence, before? Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is coming to your mind? What do you think AI means? What artificial intelligence? This term you must have heard about it, but
Yes,
like
yes.
according to, yeah. So what do you think? Like,
Ma'am, it
yeah.
recognizes like if we consider like search engines, it considers it recognizes our searches history, and according to that, it provide related searches for when we search for next time. Like if we search for any product, then if we search any product on Flipkart or Amazon, then the all ad related to that product will be seen to us on every pages we go on blog or anything related.
Yes. So thank you so much for giving all these applications, examples of these applications. So basically, AI, artificial term, is nothing but the superset, right? Within which every other subject fits. Like with respect to, let's say, one example is machine learning, right? Machine learning is one of the part of artificial intelligence. You must have heard about this term as well. So machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is a part of artificial intelligence. computer vision, which is a combination of deep learning plus image processing, is a part of artificial intelligence. You talked about search engine, that is called information retrieval. So there is a subject called information retrieval. If you go to MTech, you will read about it. So information retrieval is nothing but the whole subject is all about how to build your own search engine, like Google, right? How to build your own search engine. So that is one particular part of AI. So in short, in summary, everything, if you combine one single term, is called artificial intelligence. And what is the objective of this? Objective is automation, right? Or the objective of AI is automation. But it's, what is the difference then? Like now also we are automating using programming, we can automate, right? But that automation and this automation is different. So for example, let's say it's like building a robot which can do your task, that kind of automation. It's not like some writing some if and else rule. So if you go to program, you have written any particular program, so it will follow only the rules that you have mentioned, right? But let's say I will give you a data set, and maybe you will find out in real time the data set is very very huge. How we are thinking, how our brain is processing to automate that process faster. So if you will build the rule, maybe you will be taking 6 months or one year of time looking at the data and analyzing the data by applying so many logics, and then finally you will come up with rules. But the AI machine will be finding out all of those rules within very very minimal time, maybe within seconds, right? So that is nothing but building robots so that we can automate our various tasks. That is the objective of AI. So to fulfill that objective, we have different subjects within artificial intelligence. These key terms are very important, because when after taking this course you will apply for roles, you will be confused which one to apply and which one to not. I'll also explain everything. Just let's start with these topics first, right? Machine learning, we have deep learning, we have computer vision, we have information retrieval, we have graph analytics. Graph analytics is nothing but with respect to graph, you must, everything is math, everything. If you see the NLP is also there, NLP, natural language processing, right? Most of the things are math. Most of the things are math. So if you ask me what is AI and all of these terms, deep learning, machine learning, and then comes to your graph analytics, mostly the maths, the algorithms are math based, and like the cover of those algorithm is a language, which is Python or Scala or Java, or can be any language. Python is very famous because we have so many libraries which makes easier to implement this complex math algorithm. So like I'll give you one example. Let's say graph analytics, you must not have heard about it much, but you must have heard about your BFS algorithm and all that, right? With respect to graph, right? So those kind of algorithm nowadays we can use for different kind of application. One application is your Facebook friend suggestion, right? Facebook friend suggestion. So let's say I'm just doing a graph. Let's say you are you this is me, and this is okay, this is me, and these are two other person. This is me, this is Ram, and this is Geeta. Okay, so I have studied in SSVM, some school name. He has studied in SSVM. She has studied in SSVM. We all are, let's say I am a person who is a friend of Geeta also and Ram also, and we three have studied in the same school. Then there is a chance that there is a no link between Ram and Geeta, whereas both Ram and Geeta has a mutual friend, that is me, and we all of three studied in same school. So there is a great chance that Geeta will click if I send Ram as friend suggestion, and Ram will click if I will send Geeta as friend suggestion. Instead of sending some completely stranger's name, if I send Geeta to Ram and Ram to Geeta, they will be clicking each other, because there is a high probability that they will be friends with each other, friends with respect to each other. So this is how you're getting friend suggestion. This is simple example so that you can understand what exactly happening internally, right? Everything is a math algorithm, like what you have seen. This is a graph algorithm. Similarly, all machine learning, deep learning, and nothing but all of these things are kind of machine math related algorithm. Okay, so we will discuss about that, but this is all together we call it artificial intelligence. The first thing that we understand is what is artificial intelligence. When next time when you heard this term artificial intelligence, it is not only ML, it is not only DL, it is not only computer vision, it is not only graph analytics, it is not only NLP, but it is everything. If you combine everything, that is AI. So we call AI engineer, right? AI engineer. According to me, there is nothing called AI engineer. We call it's a AI course because more than 2 or 3 subjects from this we are going to cover. If you want to cover everything, I have not seen a person who is master in everything in my entire career, but you can choose 2 3 things from here, right? Because it is literally not possible to be master of everything. So you can select MLDL, or maybe you can select computer vision and ML, or NLP and DL, right? You can select graph analytics, information retrieval, or you can select multiple things, 1 or 2 things if you are become expert in that. And there is no role called AI engineer. Mostly roles will be specific to the skill set required. Some based on these topics, what all are the roles available? One is data scientist. You must have heard about this term, right? Data scientist. So data scientist is the person who can be very expert in ML, DL, NLP. These are the core. These are the 3 core, right? Obviously, statistics and Python, I'm just ignoring. Statistics and Python is kind of parallel. Everybody should know, right? Python statistics visualization is kind of ABCD of AI. So you should know statistics, Python, and visualization. Apart from that, if you are calling yourself a data scientist, you should be very expert in ML, DL, and NLP. These are mandatory. With that, if you know all, if you know image processing, if you know graph analytics, that is an add-on. But these 3 are mandatory. Now, you can also find a title called computer vision scientist, right? Computer vision scientist. So, who will be a computer vision scientist? People who are very strong or expert in deep learning and image processing. With these 2 skill set, you can call yourself a computer vision scientist, right? So deep learning, in the sense, data scientists also know deep learning, but a computer vision scientist is expert in deep learning. There is a difference between knowing and becoming expert. So data scientists know deep learning, computer vision scientists are expert in deep learning, right? Similarly, there are other like different kind of roles. If you're going data science role, then you first will be data scientist trainee, data scientist, senior data scientist, staff data scientist, principal data scientist, data architect, and so on. You will grow in that area. Computer vision also, like, you can grow in that area, right? So these all are the some roles. And also, don't confuse by these roles. These roles are completely different. Data analyst, business analyst, data analyst, business analyst, data engineer, right? Data engineer. So this kind of roles all are data. So there is a chance that you may get confused. But this kind of roles are completely different than this kind of roles, right? So this is a different set. This is different. This is different. Okay, so data analyst, business analyst, and data engineer roles are different. Data scientist, computer vision scientist, NLP engineer, right? Search engine scientist, graph analytics, in that case also you can become a data scientist. So these are different. That is different. You can ask me what is the difference, right? Because as a beginner it is very confusing, so many terms. Data analyst, business analyst, these are the, so okay, let me erase everything. I'll pause here before I explain the difference between data analyst, business analyst, data science, engineering, and data scientist. I'll summarize everything what we have seen. First, we understood what is the meaning of the term AI, artificial intelligence. We heard about it so much, but we actually don't know. So artificial intelligence is everything that we do, basically using robots, whatever we are automating, that is AI application. Starting from Amazon recommendation engine to Google Home to chatbots to your face detection to everything that we are using day-to-day life is coming under artificial intelligence. There is no role called artificial intelligence engineer. There are roles which are based on skill set. So artificial intelligence has so many things in it. It's not possible for anyone to understand everything. You pick two, three skills, and based on that, you will call yourself some term is associated for some skill set. For example, let's say you are a person who is very expert in deep learning. You can become a data scientist. You can also become a computer vision scientist. If you are a person who has very expert knowledge in NLP, you can become an NLP engineer. You can also become a data scientist. You know very good in ML, right? So you can become a data scientist. So you can become expert in 2 or 3 things, not in everything. That is one thing that I have explained. Next topic that I'm going to explain is what is the difference between data analyst, data engineer, and data scientist. But before going there, I will pause here and I will take questions if you have any doubt. So far, all clear? Did you understand what is artificial intelligence? What is there inside? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question, ma'am.
Yes.
Um, I have almost 12 years of IT industry experience and all
Okay,
into software testing. And I do
sure.
not have
Just give me 2 minutes.
any.
Wait.
Okay,
I will answer all of those questions at the end. Please wait for 10 minutes more where I will be
okay,
explaining the content. After this, directly I'll be explaining the content and then I will answer all your queries. Okay? So we'll go step by step. Please wait for
sure,
10 minutes. Okay? So
sure.
once we understand this, I think data, let me erase everything, right? So now data, you will tell me, okay, what you know. Let's say you want to become a data analyst. Can anybody tell what all are the skill sets required? You know, data scientist, I will tell you. I just want to make sure you understand the difference. And then there is another thing, data engineer. Okay, you speak, I will write. Data analyst. Let's say you want to become a data analyst. What do you think you should know? Any answers? Okay, let me tell. Okay, let me tell you, right? Yes. So this is the thing is like this. First is business analyst or data analyst, first position, right? Then you can become, there is no link, but I'm talking with in terms of skill sets, right? And then you become like data engineer and then a data scientist. So data scientist is a person, the more you know the better it is. There is no limitation of knowing data scientist. So you take my course or you spend some lakhs and take 1 year course, there will be something which is kind of not complete. So nobody will teach you the entire data science. You can never learn entire data science because it is huge. People do PhD in one small topic. So it is ocean. So we will not be able to, so for data scientists, there is no limitation of learning. Whatever a business analyst knows, that is definitely the data scientist will be knowing. Whatever the data engineer knows, most of the things the data scientist will be knowing, but this reverse is not true. This reverse is not true. Means what? Sorry. I mean, if you want to learn, that is up to you, but in industry that is not required. Means what? If you know deep learning, ML and other topics from data scientist, that is not mostly needed by a data engineer, and that whatever you know, data engineer and business analyst may not be knowing, but what they know you should be knowing. Are you getting? So that's why this is the graph. What this graph is telling, what a business analyst and what a data engineer should know. If you know all of these things, that is good to have skill for you. That is not mandatory, but that is good to have skill for a data scientist. But whatever a data scientist, and also it's not good to have, sometimes you have to use those also. Sometimes you will be needing. I'll tell you later, it will be very clear. But what a data scientist knows, most of the data engineers and business analyst people will not be knowing. So we'll explain what all the skill set required. Python is mandatory for everybody. Okay. Python is mandatory for everyone, no matter you want to become a data scientist or business analyst or a data engineer. Python is first data analyst, right? First data analyst, quickly I'll tell about the skill set required. First is Python, then is your Java or Scala or any other language. This is like optional, or R, or like whatever language. But this is not that much needed. At least Python you should be expert. Followed by you should know SQL or any database, right? RDBMS, like, okay, mostly SQL, and then it should be no SQL database. No SQL database is not that much needed, but if you know, that is good. So the boxes are not mandatory. It is good to have skill. No SQL means MongoDB and all, but SQL and other things is mandatory. Python is mandatory. Along with that, Excel you should know expert, that is mandatory. And PPT you should be presenting most of the times. So your communication skill and all of these things are important. So who is a data, and along with that you should also know visualization. So Tableau, right? This is very important. Tableau or Power BI, any BI tool, basically any BI tool. And it is not like only you should know, this you should be expert. Python, SQL, Excel and BI tool, you should be expert in all of those. Along with that, if you know Java, Scala, NoSQL, little bit of machine learning and all that, that is additional skills. Now who can apply? Basically anybody can go into data analyst. I will not suggest to go for data analyst if you are more than 3 years of experience. Mostly freshers can apply. Okay. And what is the next goal? You ask any data analyst who is working as a data analyst, they will tell their next goal is to learn either data engineering, either to go to data engineering side or to become a data scientist. So what is the future goal? I'm not saying everyone, but mostly 70% of business analyst, data analyst, to upgrade their career, they want to become a data engineer or a data scientist. Now why they want that, right? Are not they happy? No, because of the paycheck. Because of the paycheck. So everybody works for money, right? And if you want to, because at data analyst and business analyst level, after certain years the growth is limited in terms of what, in terms of the pay, right? It will not be so much. After certain years there will be no growth. So because why? Because you know the same thing, right? You're not knowing anything great, right? So you are easily replaceable by the company, right? After 4-5 years of experience, they don't need you. They can replace you by a fresher who knows Python, SQL, Excel and BI tool. So that is a problem. So all data analysts in future, they want to either go to data engineering and data, or they want to become data scientist. So data engineering and data scientist, so one is like the king and one is like the queen, right? Or you can take this also as a king and this also as a queen. And so what I mean to say is, so much demanded right now in market. This is the last destination, no matter where you are right now today. If you want to come to this field, this is the last destination. And these are different tracks. Do not mix these two things. These are completely different tracks. Both paycheck same. Paycheck is same. If you are a good data engineer, you will get mostly same as data scientist. But if you compare, sometimes data scientists earn little more than data engineer. But according to my own, I have seen so many, because my profile matches with data engineering as well as data science. So I know most of the times it is mostly it is same. Okay, mostly it is same. So paycheck is very good. You can expect 30% more in today's situation. If you are skilled, you can expect 30% more than what others are getting with the same experience level in the same company, right? So both are very highly paid jobs. So now what is the skill set required for data engineer? Both in data science and data engineer, data analyst must, you should know. If you remember the graph, everything a data analyst know, a data engineer and a data scientist will be knowing by default. That is like, for data analyst, that is their bread and butter. For us, it is like alphabets. So we will build words using those. So Python we should know, data engineer also should know, right? All the things. Coming to Excel, everybody should know Excel, right? Sometimes we also need it. So Excel I also know. Data engineer should also use it. SQL, they should know expert knowledge. SQL expert knowledge. Here it is expert knowledge, right? As a data scientist, SQL and Excel, okay knowledge, right? If I know how to pull a data from SQL, Excel, basic pivot table and basic functions, if I know, that is okay. Okay, I no need to be expert in SQL. No, I'm not a SQL programmer. I need SQL to pull the data from database. If that much I know, that is more than sufficient. So if any data science course is wasting your time teaching SQL for 20 days, don't join that course, because as a real-time data scientist, hardly we use Excel for any kind of programming. We have other tools. SQL we use, I'm not saying it is not needed. Definitely SQL is needed, but mostly for data collection part. Data processing and other things will be using Python, Pandas and other packages. Okay. Now what else? BI tools. BI tools, BI tools, expert and data scientist also needs to be expert. Here it is expert. You should be expert. Otherwise, because most of the data, how you will find insights, the visualization. Not only BI tools, data scientists are expert in Python visualization, free packages, Plotly, I'll tell you later, right? Matplotlib C1 along with BI tools. So this is whatever data analysts know, everything data engineer and data scientist people will be knowing. Along with that, these are like kind of very basic things for them. Along with that, what is their major topics? Now, along with that, what is the major topic? Here, the major topic I already told you, deep learning, deep learning. And in future, this is what you will heard, machine learning is going to be automated by AutoML tools. Already it is there. So most of down the line after 4-5 years, if you see, machine learning will not be there. Deep learning is the next future. So deep learning is a must skill. Machine learning is the second most important skill. Machine learning, deep learning, NLP, right? And there is statistics, very expert, right? Statistics and so on. If you know Spark, bit of Spark, that is good. But again, it is okay, not expert. Okay, knowledge is okay, right? And so on. These are the skill sets, and more detail you will find because I'll be explaining the syllabus. And in data engineering, big data ecosystem, big data ecosystem. Ecosystem means Hadoop, Spark, Kafka, Storm, right? So many tools you should know in expert level. This is your core. Basically, along with big data, Scala or Java, you should be expert. It's not like only you know, you should be expert. So then you will become a data engineer. Data scientist, Java, Scala is not needed. Only Python you should be very expert. Along with that, all of this skill sets. This is the difference between data analyst, data scientist and data engineer. These things will definitely help you when you go and apply for roles. After taking this course, you are very, very well suited for data scientist. Having said that, if you are a fresher, if you are kind of college student or just you passed out 1-2 years before, if you are getting data analyst job, apply and get it. Join it. Do not reject. You join it. Okay. If you are getting data engineering also, you join it, and smoothly you can come to data science. This will be a smooth transition. Anybody who is working as a data analyst and data engineer can come smoothly to data science. And you know why? Big data is also needed. Scala, Java knowledge is not going anywhere, and anything that Python, SQL is also needed. So half of the things you already know about data science. If you learn deep learning, machine learning, NLP, statistics, you can become a data scientist. So these are the different job roles. Please understand that. Okay. Okay, so now if you are clear about data analyst, data engineer and data scientist, now I will be talking about the course content, what we are going to cover. Okay, so what we are going to cover in this course. So this is a deep learning course. The workshop that you have enrolled is basically a deep learning plus NLP course. Now, before you join this course, what is the requirement? Requirement is Python only, basic Python. Python basic is required. Python basic is required. So what you can do is, I have a batch which is starting from tomorrow onwards, Monday 6:30. Another batch, intermediate batch, which is starting at 7:30 morning from this Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. IST. Monday to Friday. This is the deep learning batch, right? Deep learning batch starting from tomorrow. Now, if you are a person who want to learn deep learning and NLP, but you don't know Python basic, because we are not covering Python basic in this advanced course, what you can do is Python basic, you can either take my previous batch recordings and learn yourself, or you can join Durga sir's class, which is kind of YouTube, every day you can learn. Third option is you wait for 2 days. In the 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. IST you can join. I will teach you Python. Okay, so in the another batch, in the intermediate batch, I will be teaching Python, so you can join there, and you can learn Python, right? After Python you can quit that, and you can, I mean, parallelly you can do both. 6:30 to 7:30 you can learn the concept. 7:30 to 8:30 I'll be teaching you Python. So I think Python is clear. So if you don't know Python also, you can join my course and you will understand. But if you know Python, you are in a very good position to start the course. Now, what all are the topics that we are going to cover? You can see the topics in detail, but basically deep learning and NLP is the most difficult part, most difficult subject in AI. You understood what is AI in AI? Most difficult part is this. And for this subjects, you need a good instructor. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand. When it comes to ML and other things, you need an instructor. But as I said, it is like you should know ML. I'm not saying it is not important. Statistics and machine learning are the backbone. So you can actually join the 7:30 a.m. batch, which is starting from Wednesday onwards, to learn ML and statistics. So in total, this course duration is 1.5. So mostly including Saturdays, we will be connecting, and this will be 1.5 month course. And this 1.5 month, mostly it will be focusing on deep learning for 1 month and NLP for 15 days. So this is how I have divided. From day one, we'll be starting with the content. And in deep learning, I'll tell you the syllabus in detail, but everything tit by tit, including mathematical derivation, there is nothing beyond it. Once I completed one algorithm means that is done. There is nothing beyond in that algorithm, whatever we have covered here. Starting from like every cost function we will be optimizing. I'll be deriving everything, the math. Let's say for one math you have to understand gradient or derivative first. I will be explaining the derivative first, and then I will take you through the code so that you will understand. So along with that, we will also implement it in a real-time project. So let me first give you a brief, and then I will share you the content also. So in deep learning, we'll be completing ANN, artificial neural network, and then we will be completing CNN, convolutional neural network, RNN, recurrent neural network, and LSTM, right? Long short-term memory, right? These are the 4 algorithm in detail, and one algorithm will take 10 days to cover. So you can understand how depth we are going. So we'll first understand the math. Then we will derive all the equations, and then we will be implementing each algorithm in one project. For ANN, we are going to do a forecasting, demand forecasting project. For CNN, it is image classification project. So we have images, we'll be doing image classification. For RNN and LSTM, we will be doing a same demand forecasting, but here we will be using one ANN algorithm, that is regression. But same project we will be doing here in time series algorithm. So basically I'll be using LSTM, long short-term memory, time series data. You will understand how to process. So there are 3 projects deep learning based, that is your regression project, time series based project, and image classification. Along with that, what else you can learn? In the image processing project, you will be understanding about OpenCV. What is OpenCV? OpenCV is an image processing library in Python, right? And here we will be learning about image, how to convert one scale to another scale, grayscale image conversion from the color, what all are the different color maps, and smoothing, blurring, right? Normalizing a image. So many image morphological transformation. So many image processing techniques we will be learning before we apply image classifier, right? We have to clean the data, so we have to learn all of those image processing techniques. So what we are getting, and with respect to implementation side, PyTorch and Keras. So what all are the different um, packages that I will be using, mostly the deep learning, right? Let me write again. So it was deep learning, ANN, CNN, RNN, LSTM, followed by 3 projects. Along with that, we have OpenCV, which is nothing but image processing. Along with that, what we will be learning is nothing but yeah. So the packages that we will be learning is PyTorch and Keras. Okay, so these are the 2 libraries. We will be very, very thorough, and also GPU programming, CUDA programming, along with normal programming. Along with Python, we will be understanding GPU programming. So basically parallel programming, we'll understand that in the PyTorch implementation of ANN. Okay, and this is the topic from deep learning, and for NLP you can go through the topics. I will share the content. So we have word embeddings, language models, web scraping. We will be collecting the data from internet, right, using Beautiful Soup. And so in NLP, what we are going to learn is from scratch. We will be first understanding how to pull data from web, right? This is called web scraping. So with respect to web scraping, what all tools will be understanding? Beautiful Soup and Selenium. And along with that, we will be understanding TF-IDF vector data pre-processing, basically stop word removal and all that. And then TF-IDF vectorizer, right? TF-IDF count vectorizer, word embedding, what-to-vec model, and then we have language models, right? Language models. Basically, so many topics, NER, named entity recognition, and we have TISNI, right? TISNI is a visualization dimensional reduction technique. So all of these terms, if I write, you will not understand, but in summary, it is very detailed, plus 2 projects. How many projects in NLP? 2 projects. One is you're building a recommendation engine. Another project is building a sentiment classifier, right? We'll be pulling the data from web, from Amazon. We'll be logging into Amazon. We'll be pulling the data, feedbacks and other things, ratings given by customers. That data we will be using for sentiment classifier to understand the sentiment for a product. And then we will be using a recommendation engine using word embedding techniques. So in total 5 projects. And what all packages? Here PyTorch Keras in NLP, Gensim, Spacy, right? NLTK, right? And then we have all of these packages in NLP. We'll be discussing in detail. Okay, so these are the summary. So in total, yes, Monday to Friday the classes will be 6:30 to 7:30. Saturday, what is Saturday for? Saturday not only for you, for every batch students. How many batches? I am currently taking 3 batches. For all of them, it is coding practice session. So we started recently from last batch, like the current 8:30 p.m. batch, and it is going very good. So I'm getting very good feedback. So people are really enjoying, because most of the times the assignments that I give, nobody will practice. So there I will make you practice. In Saturday sessions, it is a coding. Let's say today we completed. So in this week, whatever we have completed, we'll be practicing on Saturday. No new topic will be covered. So I'll be giving questions, let's say ANN. Then I will write a question. You have to answer, you have to code. And then there is a quiz competition. So whoever will give me the right answer first, will be the winner, right? It's basically a coding practice session. Along with me, you will be coding. So that's a basically 1 hour class on Saturday, same time. So this is all about the high level, but if you want to know more, you can go the topics and everything. As I told, I have a weak point. Whatever I cover in detail. I don't want to skip anything. Whatever I don't cover, I don't cover. There are some other topics like BERT, transfer learning and other things which we are not covering, but I think this is a very good set. So after this, you can very easily write 5+ years of experience in data science. Okay, 5+ years of experience in data science. Along with that, if you know machine learning and statistics, that also, if you want to understand, you can enroll 7:30 a.m. batch, which is starting from this Wednesday. There's an intermediate batch which will help you to understand about machine learning and statistics in detail, along with data visualization and Python. So that is this, and that is actually a 3-month class. But if you can take parallel, you can finish it in 1.5 months. But this particular course anybody can take. There is no parallel. It's both are parallel. So there you will be learning ML and statistics. Here you will be learning DL and NLP. Not even a single word is repeated. Every topic here is independent of each other. So you can very well understand. Don't think if I don't know ML, I will not understand DL. It is not like that. You can very well understand deep learning because the architecture itself is a completely different architecture, right? And NLP also, it's text data. So you can very well understand. And then only thing is Python. So Python, anyway, as I told, you can join my class or you can learn yourself or you can take the recordings and then you can enroll for this course. So this is what I have to tell, and along with that I'll share the interview questions and resume preparation. So I will be giving you writings about 10-15 projects from my real-time experience, and you can that will help you. For example, Brilliant pricing, let's say corrosion detection, which is a DL based project that I have worked on, right? So I will help you giving some writing so that you can put all of those project experience in your resume. So I'll pause here. So for last many minutes, I'm only talking. Now I will take questions. Anybody has any question? The detail about the content, please go through the notes. Sorry, the syllabus. You will understand. Right? Okay, I'll pause here. Any queries?
Hi, I have a quick question. So actually, I thought to take a machine learning first and then deep learning. But as you said, machine learning is going to end in maybe in another one or two years. So it is better to take a deep learning and NLP from tomorrow.
Okay, good question. Okay, so it is like, let's say, I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Let's say you are calling a function called add. Okay, which is nothing but it will take two inputs 5,6 and it will giving you 11. Now this is good if you call the function 5,6 and it will give you 11. You will feel satisfied if you know what this add function is doing, right? What it is doing, it is taking 5 plus 6. This is what it is doing. So you are correct. Machine learning is going to vanish, but having said that, understanding a concept will definitely help you forever. So you may use add function instead of writing 5 plus 6. You can use add function. But if you know how that add function is working behind, right, you will feel satisfied. And if somebody is asking you question, you can answer, right, when you go to stakeholders. But having said that, anybody can take this advanced course, and there is no doubt that deep learning and NLP is the next future. I can like give you in written. If you give me a pen and paper, I'll write it and I'll sign it. It's not because I am teaching, that's why. It is because I myself is focusing more on this side because I know the truth. So if you see GPT-3, I'll tell you some of the thing. Okay, let me give you some of the examples. Okay, what I said, let me give you some of the examples. So you go today and see about this GPT-3 and other things. Let's say I'll give you, leave about, okay. So what I said, I'm just proving you, okay, why ML can be automated. So this is a free package. PyCaret is a Python package only. Along with Python, you have different, like Azure is there. Then you go to EC2, Amazon, and then Microsoft, Data IQ. There are so many bunch of tools where just drag and drop and machine learning models will be created. Having said that, you can see here PyCaret and all that. So what is this PyCaret? Let's say demand price prediction. This is basically a machine learning prediction. Okay, you are predicting what will be the demand, right, for diamond. So if you see this, okay, so this is home. So you go to any of this, yes. So this is an open source free project. What it is doing, you can see Pi project. Everything it will automate: data preparation, model training, hyperparameter tuning, analysis, interpretability, model selection, everything. So you just need to type pip install PyCaret, you need to install it. And then what you can do is, if you see, only 2 or 3 lines of code you need to write and your entire model is ready, right? This is one example, and like that I can show you 10 more examples, right, where machine learning seems to be automated. But having said that, many things may not be like, if it is, let's say, domain specific, right? So there is, okay, so like computer can be replaceable, but there should be someone who can kind of guide the computer. So what I can tell you is, instead of 10 data scientists who are skilled in machine learning, in future the company can require only 2 data scientists instead of 10. Are you getting? So the number of positions will be less. Okay, the number of positions will be less, because if something, let's say in one case, the PyCaret package or any AutoML is kind of deleting the entire column, because that is not important. But here, as a human, before deleting, you will, as a common sense, you will go and check with the domain expert whether I should delete it or not, whether it makes sense to delete, right? So like that kind of, so basically what I mean to say is, the number of positions that is opening today, and if you see after 4 years for machine learning, will be reduced to 30% or 40% because of this AutoML kind of packages. But having said that, now you can ask me why not DL and NLP can be automated. It cannot be automated. That's why it has not been automated. If it is easy to automate, by this time obviously many people would have been automated it also. It is not possible to automate. I'll tell you why. Because data is this kind of technologies, deep learning and NLP, whatever you are building is domain specific. Domain specific means what? Let's say I am building a computer vision model which can take the videos as input and tell me which all parts are cracks in it. Okay, that's the application. Which all parts are cracks in it. Now this is a picture of a HPT stage 1 blade for which I'm building the model. Do you think the same crack detection algorithm? So we are doing so many pre-processing, we are doing so many things, but the same algorithm may not give you good accuracy in other different kind of crack. Are you getting? This is very specific to this particular kind of crack. If I change the image, the algorithm will also be different. Are you getting what I'm saying? I cannot copy this model and paste it in some other domain. Let's say in a furniture shop where they are finding cracks in plastic, some plastic product. That cannot be applicable there than here, because iron is a different kind of crack and they have different properties. That is are you getting? So these models cannot be copy pasted. A human is needed to code it, right? Similarly, chatbots, the common concept will be same, but for chatbot, a domain like AirAsia, let's say a travel domain, has a different requirement than other domain, right? The chatbot code cannot be copy pasted. Are you getting? So it can be automated to some extent, but not completely. So that is the thing. So if you want to take intermediate, my recommendation, if you ask me what is my recommendation is give yourself 6 month time. If you are really serious, I'm telling. If you are not serious, then leave it. So if you really want to see yourself as a data scientist, give yourself 6 month time. It is not something which you can learn in 1-2 months. So you enroll for everything. Okay. So if you enroll for everything in 3 months, and if you're taking parallelly, maybe 1.5 months, what you will learn is from scratch. Python you will learn, and then you will learn visualization, right? And then you will learn statistics, then machine learning, then deep learning, then NLP. This completes your entire series. And you can take Apache Spark recording, a previous batch, if you want to learn. Apache Spark is kind of bonus thing which I can give you. Okay, so this completes your thing. But do not leave the course without learning deep learning and NLP. Many people do that, and honestly speaking, you are nowhere. It is like you studied till 9th class, and without giving the board exam, you quit the course. That is like that. So without deep learning NLP, you are nowhere in AI domain. You can understand what I'm saying, right? You today only go to Naukri and open 4+ year of experience, and let me know if any one requirement is there. If there is no mention of PyTorch, CNN, ANN, these keywords you don't find. NLP and deep learning. Without this, you cannot go for any interview. And if you tell that I have 5-year+ experience, but I don't know deep learning, I mean, that is something which we cannot accept.
Okay.
But is it clear to others as well? This is a good question. So my recommendation is go for everything. It will definitely boost your confidence. But if you are in a hurry, you really cannot go. So you can go for Python, Deep learning, NLP, and machine learning, you can learn yourself. If you are smart, you can learn yourself. And there are so much, I mean, not that much math as compared to DL, right? Machine learning has less math as compared to deep learning. The maths are little simple. Deep learning maths are complex. Okay.
Okay.
Any other doubts? So anybody can enroll for this course. There is no requirement. Anybody can enroll for this course. The basic thing is you should know Python. If you don't know also, that is okay. You can enroll and you can learn Python only from 7:30 a.m.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, ma'am.
Yes.
As a fresher, is it easy to get a job as a data scientist?
Not easy. How many years? A complete fresher, or you have some experience?
Ma'am, I'm studying in fourth year right now.
Yeah. Okay, so you definitely, like as I said, for you, the opportunities are wider, and you are kind of very lucky if you get a kind of initially if you go into data domain. So as I said, you know, you take this data science course, and the data analyst, I think somehow you can learn yourself because there is nothing. Excel, you can learn yourself. Python, anyway, you have to learn no matter what you are doing. That's the kind of base for everything. And Excel, SQL also, if you can learn yourself, and BI tools are drag and drop tools. So if you know that, and plus if you know advanced things like machine learning and everything, your scope for getting a job is more. And slowly, if you are getting data science roles, that is very good. Nowadays freshers, I after MTech I joined as a data scientist as a fresher. So you will get a job as a fresher, but let's say you are not getting also, you can very easily crack business analyst, data analyst kind of role. Stay in that company for 6-7 months or 1 year. Very easily you can either showcase that experience as data science experience, or with the same data analyst only you can move to another company after 1-2 years as a data scientist. So that will be a smooth transition. Try for data science, but if you're not getting, you can also join data analyst, business analyst kind of roles, because that will really help you later when you become a data scientist. Tableau
Okay,
and
ma'am.
everything we are using daily, right? Yeah. So so that is what it is, irrespective of, and you are senior, then definitely you should go for data science positions only, or data
Okay.
engineer. Data analyst is not a position for senior people who have 7-year, 8-year, 9-year experience, because the pay will not match. Okay. Okay, so any further doubts? So what I'm saying is, let's say you are having 3+ year of experience, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of experience in some domain, let's say software developer or test engineer or something. Now you cannot see yourself as a business analyst. It's not like you will not get a job. You will get a job, but the paycheck will not match. Even though it is matching right now, after 2-3 years, it will not match, because there is a limitation in business analyst domain. But in data science and data engineering, there is no limitation of paycheck that you will get. You can every 2 years, 3 years, you can expect some 10, 15, 20% hike. In at least now I can tell. After 5 years, I don't know what will happen. But now the situation is there is a great demand and there is very less supply. I mean, skilled resources are very, very limited. Every company wants to invest in AI, but they're not getting skilled resource. That's why you will get high package. In India, in
Okay.
outside, it is even more good. Yeah. Okay, I am taking one question. I completed MTech onwards. I'm working as a computer science faculty now. Okay, so if you are working as a computer science faculty, you can come to software. It is not that kind of, you have a MTech degree, so definitely you can come to the field. But the thing is, as I said, the sooner you will come, the better for you. If you really want to come, the more gap, like faculty or teaching related experience you will gather, the difficult it will become for you. So sooner you will come, better for you, right? In 2016, so 3-4 years, that is okay. So target some initial level of companies like startups, uh, and then once you work there for 2-3 years, you can target good companies. Okay, and whatever package you are getting, first grab it, and then later you can demand some hike, 30, for 40% once you are skilled enough.
Mhm.
Okay. So honestly speaking, data science is a domain which is for at least if you are having a master's degree, or if you are BTech, it's difficult to get a data science position, because masters you can get as a fresher. If you are BTech, at least 2 years of experience they are needing. Why? Because data science people are the front, like they are very, very important to a company. They will directly, their insights are helpful for the company to take decisions. So you will be very close to the leadership team, right? Your CEO or your kind of domain manager will be knowing your team, and if you are a good performer, also your name also they will be knowing, because many of the things are dependent on your insights that you're generating. So in that case, it is very important that what, as a data scientist, you should know the PPT, Excel, communication side. That is different things. Storyteller, you should be a very good communicator, right? It's not like only coding. So it's a mostly math, statistics, visualization, everything is needed to become a data scientist. So those all communication and all you will be learning once you go into the domain. But what I mean to say is the technical skill is really important. Okay. Okay, so this is all about this, and we'll connect if you have any queries. So tomorrow onwards, 6:30 a.m. we have class. If you want to join, it's a completely fresh batch. Nothing has been covered. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start. And you are really serious about coming to data science, the sooner you will learn deep learning and NLP, the better it is. As I said, always remember this example. You learn till 9th class and you have not given the board exam. So your education has no value if you have not completed 10th. Similarly, if you have not completed DL and NLP, your AI course is not completed. It is adhura, it is incomplete. Because with ML, you cannot go further. Only 1 or 2 years you can struggle if you are getting a job. After that, I mean, if you are asking for a job change, they will ask the skill sets that you know. And if you don't know DL and NLP in AI world, you will not sustain. As a data scientist, very, very, very important, right? No matter which level you are applying for.
Okay.
Okay. So that is what, and if you want to see some of the notes, I can show you how the notes will be, right? That is, I think some of the things you might be knowing, interested to see. So I can show you. Just give me some time. Let me open some of the notes. In the meantime, I can answer if you have any queries. So what I'm showing you is what kind of notes you will be getting, right? How detailed we will be going. So that will helpful to you to understand how we cover the algorithms, right? Any further doubts?
I have one quick question. After completing artificial intelligence with a machine learning course, is it good to go for getting job, or how is that?
Yes, you can very well. You can apply for jobs, and I think I mean with Python, if you know Python and visualization, as I said. So with NLP and deep learning, you're getting the scope of getting job is more, right? Obviously, ML is kind of base. You should know ML as well. I'm not saying ML is not important, but with deep learning, ML is like alphabet. Everybody know ML. What extra you know, right? Based on that, you will be selected. Are you getting? So ML is like everybody knows ML and statistics. Nobody knows advanced deep learning. So if you know advanced deep learning, getting your selection is higher. The probability of you getting selected.
But
Right.
how deep knowledge is required for mathematics knowledge? If don't have any mathematics knowledge, then poor in mathematics, how difficult or how it is?
Don't worry about it. So for mathematics, I will take care. So that's why I'm showing you this note, right? Mathematics knowledge is required. I'm not saying no. And from day one only, I'm starting with derivative. You can understand I'm teaching line by line, writing everything. This is the note for ANN. And then we will be discussing, and then wherever it is math, I will be taking it from scratch, right?
Okay.
All the math I'll be explaining you. For example, cost function. This is gradient descent algorithm, right? So how we will do is we'll take this, because without math you cannot crack interviews. Okay, so they will ask
Okay.
you directly questions from the logic. It's not the implementation side. So nowadays, any deep learning, NLP, or machine learning or data science role you're applying, first round is coding test. So this is one coding test that I was solving. So see this. So this kind of questions will be given, and this kind of logics they will be writing, and you have to solve and give them. Not only this, mostly without coding test, you will not go to even second round. So leave about that. So coding definitely you have to expert, but in the second, third, and fourth rounds, face-to-face rounds, every question will be on your project experience and on logics, not on coding.
Okay.
Because coding is
Okay.
already done. And there
Okay.
they will ask you this. Okay, so what? So gradient descent. So this is the algorithm which we have. See, from cost function line by line, we derived everything. So this detailed math you will get. So that's why I'm telling, each algorithm will take more than 1 week to complete. So 7-8 hours we are giving only for one
Okay.
algorithm.
Okay.
Okay. So this is this side, and the programming side we will be using PyTorch and also GPU programming. So everything, whatever is there, we are covering. As I said, nothing beyond it. And you will understand all the maths. These are 7th, 8th maths, no problem. So I will
Okay.
explain you. So derivative and all that, I'll explain, I'll refresh your concepts, and then we will go to the, and it is always an interactive session. I never wanted a one-sided class. You can check with other. I am currently running 3 batches. In evening batch, we have 28 students. In the
Okay.
morning, just now we finished, there were 20 students. So almost 48
Okay.
students I have. And always it is an interactive session. We discuss doubts 2 ways. Like you can ask, I will answer. It's not like I will be teaching and you'll be listening. It's not like that.
Okay.
Okay. So any topic, anywhere you are not able to understand, obviously you can ask me then and there. I will answer all your queries, and I'll make sure everybody is understanding.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to join for intermediate, this 7:30 a.m. Wednesday onwards, we are starting a batch. If you want to join advanced, tomorrow onwards it is starting 6:30 a.m. If you want to take both, you can take both. So every day you have 2-hour class, 6:30 to 8:30. Okay, and
Okay.
every
Okay.
Saturday there is every Saturday also, if you there is a session, coding session, quiz session, where we will be discussing interview questions, coding questions, and all that. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, thank you all. If you have any further queries, you can reach out to Durgasoft. You can write email, I will answer, or maybe you can reach out to me, I'll answer your queries. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Yeah.